Aw, shit. It's week 1. Let's get it started. So Champions League, we're going to talk about matchups, we're going to talk about NFL news, we're going to talk about the smack talk, draft results, anything and everything. All right, first off, I got to give props last year. You know, we had Joey win the league. All that smack talking, I guess, finally paid off. Joey ended up going, 10-3 for the season. And he pretty much, I want to say, won the 6 final matchups to take the championship. He had a crazy team. He had McFadden, he had Arian Foster, and he had Aaron Rodgers, Wes Welker. It was just madness, pretty much. So mad props to him. Let's see if he can do it again this year. I do have a prediction, though, for Joey's team this year. But I think this video shows it the best.
It's not going to fall this time. This time is not. Fuck! Your face! God damn it!
He was up, now he's going down. We should watch it one more time in slow motion. Alright guys, since the draft's over, I think the first thing I'm going to go over is 2 guys I think that were reached for in the draft, and 2 guys I think that fell pretty far in the draft. First on my list on the reaches, I gotta go with Mark Ingram from the Saints. He was drafted 17th overall in our league by Ricky Ross, which is Shawnee's team. And don't get me wrong, I think Mark Ingram is going to do big things in New Orleans. But honestly, with the scheme they have there right now, and with being a rookie, I don't see him putting up great numbers. They still got Pierre Thomas. They picked up Darren Sproles in the offseason. I just don't know if it's a good value pick at that position, especially looking back at the draft, which was still available. Steven Jackson was still on the board, Frank Gore, Matt Forte, Peyton Hillis. All those 4 guys, I think, at the end of the season are going to put up better numbers than Ingram. But I can't hate too much because looking at Shawnee in the past few seasons, how he's drafted, he always drafts crazy, but he always makes the playoffs, and hell, last year he got 2nd. So best of luck to you, buddy. All right, 2nd on the reaches, I got to go with Peyton Manning, who was drafted 24th overall, which is in the 2nd round by Dennis's team, Woodbridge Vikings. And don't get me wrong, that's a great spot for Peyton Manning. But with his neck surgery in the offseason, much as he said he hasn't thrown a ball since early in the summer, I can't see his value right there. The way it looks right now, he's not even going to start the first game. It could be out a minimum of 3 weeks. I don't know. It could work out good for him because Peyton Manning does have a pretty good schedule come our fantasy playoffs. So if Dennis can make the playoffs without that one, he'd be all right. But looking back and looking what's still on the board at that point, Dennis had a shot at Phillip Rivers, Matt Schaub, Tony Romo, and Matt Ryan, which even if Peyton Manning is healthy, those 4 guys right there can put up comparable, if not even better numbers than Peyton. But you never know. We'll see. Hopefully it works out for him. So now let's get into the guys that I feel fell pretty far in the draft and look to be great value picks that were there selected. All right, first off on guys that fell pretty far this year in the draft that should be great value picks is the guy I selected for my team in the 6th round, 76 overall, Javid Best from Detroit. I feel like Detroit's going to put up great numbers this year in offense. I think they're one of the most underrated teams, and I expect big things from them, even possibly make the playoffs. We shall see. Now, in other mock drafts around the fantasy football world, Javid Best going to average in the 3rd round, 36 overall. For him to fall all the way to the 6th at this pick is a great value, and I expect good things from him on my team. Next up on the value picks that fell pretty far, I got to go with Chad Ochocinco, who fell all the way to the 7th round to TD Magnet, which is Kevin's team, which is a great pick at that position. Chad Ochocinco has the potential to be a number 1 receiver, and you can even put a comparison to what Randy Moss did a few years ago when he had that breakout year. Now, I'm a big fan of Ochocinco, so I might be a little higher on him than everybody else, but even at the position he is and Tom Brady throwing to him, you know he's going to put up better numbers than he did last year. All right, the draft, it's set, it's done. Who knows what's going to happen this season? We all know if we drafted perfect every year, we'd always win. Things happen. So let's get down to it. I'm going to give you guys 3 matchups every week that I feel like are having the biggest impact in the league. Okay, so the first matchup, it's going to be intense. We got brother versus brother. We got Young Money, which is Arvin's team, versus John's team, which is My Dixon Cider. My Dixon Cider. Really, man? Come on. All right, anyway, I got to give the advantage to Arvin on this one. I really like his team and how he drafted. I think he's going to put up big numbers this week with Drew Brees, even though they're playing in Green Bay, along with Beanie Wells doing big things against Carolina, and Ryan Matthews starting his career off right the 2nd season against Minnesota. Now, John's going to put up a fight, though. John has a very sound team. He's got Jamal Charles, Dallas Clark coming back, and Matt Schaub at quarterback. I just feel like overall though, the numbers are going to be put up. Arvin's got a better advantage all the way down this roster. This next matchup is a rubber match from last year. We got the Soup, which is Glenn, versus Woodbridge Vikings, which is Dennis's team. Now this matchup last season kept the Soup, who at that point was our defending champion, out of the playoffs. Not even a shot to defend his title in the playoffs. Man, he was pissed. Now on paper, this matchup is so close. The projected points only have them 1 point apart. But honestly, I gotta go with the Soup on this one. I like what he did this year. He mixed it up. He didn't go for the same players like he always does. And I think his team's gonna do big things. I really like Matt Forte against Atlanta, Mike Vick versus St. Louis. And honestly, I do think Kenny Britt is gonna light it up against Jacksonville. Those should be his key points and why he wins. Now on Dennis' side, I love Kyle Orton against Oakland this week. He's one of my top picks and a player that I think you have to play if you got somebody like Dennis does with Peyton Manning on the bench. Now also he's got players like Plaxico Burress, who is a big question mark, along with LT. Those are guys that have big upside, but I don't personally see them doing big things this year. So hopefully the Soup can pull it out, but you never know. Good luck, guys. Now this final matchup is going to be the matchup of the week. And what better way to start the season off than with a rematch of the finals from last year. So we have Super Stompers versus Ricky Ross. Now on paper, Super Stompers has a huge advantage, with almost a 15-point advantage on projected points. And looking at the squad, I can't blame him. He had a great draft this year, getting Kevin Cobb really late in the 7th round. He's got Roddy White, Vincent Jackson, and Darren McFadden to run his team. I think his team's going to do big things this year, and it's looking pretty good for him. Now on the flip side, we got to look at Ricky Ross's team. Every year he always drafts all crazy, and I never understand how he pulls the wins off, but every year he always seems to find a way to do it. Looking at his team though, he's got Calvin Johnson, who always can light it up, and Quan Bolden, who had a little bit of a down year last year if you ask me, along with Mark Ingram, who I expect big things from, but I don't know if he's going to do it this year. He also has New England's defense on Monday Night Football against Miami, which could put up big numbers. So we'll see. Honestly, I give the advantage to Joey on this one, but good luck to everybody in the matchups this week. Alright guys, this has been your Champions League Week 1 update. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and are as excited for football to start as I am. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Also want to hear you guys talking that smack up on the boards. And also, you guys get a chance, go ahead and vote for the matchups because I want to know who you guys think is going to win. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week. Peace.